What's up, NS Soldiers? I'm the Alliance, and today I'm bringing you guys a new series that I'm going to be doing on my channel. Now this series is going to be called How to Improve Star Wars. Now like I said, it's a new series I'm thinking about doing, so if you want to see these, let me know, but if you don't like them, then I won't do them. But hey, with most things, you can't knock it till you try it. Except for drugs. Don't do drugs. So let's see how this goes. So if you notice, when a lot of other YouTubers do Star Wars content, they actually end up talking about how to fix things. But I'm not really trying to say how to fix things as much as I'm saying how can we take things that are small and not that big to the entire story, and we can kind of improve them to make the movie just seem a little bit better. And not just the movie, but the entire franchise as a whole. So if you guys have any ideas that might improve the Star Wars franchise, let me know in the comments below, and I might just cover your topic in the next video. But with that said, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Star Wars content. But with that said and out of the way, let's begin. So for the topic of this video, I wanted to make Qui-Gon's lightsaber more significant to the prequel trilogy. Now what I mean by this is that although Qui-Gon does die in The Phantom Menace, there's still a lot of things that link him to the future films. The best examples being the protagonist Anakin and Obi-Wan, and the antagonist Dooku. So I thought of a pretty interesting way on how the lightsaber can become more significant down the line. Now there's actually a fan theory that I think was recently confirmed by Canon, so I think it's pretty cool that that's a real thing. But the theory suggests that Qui-Gon's lightsaber crystal is actually the crystal used in Luke Skywalker's own lightsaber. Because when Luke constructed his green lightsaber, he actually went to Obi-Wan Kenobi's house and made it. So he actually used a green lightsaber crystal that was in Kenobi's house, and we all know that the only lightsaber that we know of course, that he had that was green lightsaber was Qui-Gon. So it's pretty cool because it's like Qui-Gon essentially passing the torch of Grey Jedi, although Grey Jedis aren't technically canon, over to Luke. And then we see Luke carry on from there with Qui-Gon's lightsaber in tow. So I came up with a small story synopsis that wouldn't change the movies that much, but would also add an extra element of connection to all the films too. So with that said, here's my idea. So as we know, in The Phantom Menace, Qui-Gon is slain by Darth Maul. And after Obi-Wan loses his own lightsaber, he uses Qui-Gon's lightsaber to finish Maul off. And then, after that, we never see the lightsaber again. I feel like that was kind of a missed opportunity. I think what would be interesting is perhaps in the second film, instead of Obi-Wan having a new lightsaber that was the exact same as the one he had in The Phantom Menace, I think the lightsaber he should have used was Qui-Gon's lightsaber. So not only is Obi-Wan still using his master's lightsaber, but the idea of the master having the green lightsaber and the apprentice having the blue lightsaber would still kind of carry out through the next film. And what I mean by that is Qui-Gon had a green lightsaber, and now Obi-Wan has a green lightsaber, and before Obi-Wan had the blue lightsaber, and now Anakin had the blue lightsaber. And like I mentioned, although it wouldn't be that big of a deal in terms of story, I think it would be a really cool mirroring of master and apprentice. Now as the film goes on, the film would still pretty much go the exact same because remember, we're changing the small things, we're not changing massive things. And eventually Obi-Wan gets captured. Now as we know, when Obi-Wan is captured on Geonosis, Count Dooku comes to greet him, only this time, he's holding Qui-Gon's lightsaber. And of course, there'd be a couple more lines about Qui-Gon in there to kind of, establish this relationship that both characters have towards him. But at the end of the scene, Count Dooku would actually take the lightsaber with him. So it wouldn't be like with Obi-Wan's lightsaber before, where it just kind of disappeared, no one knows where it went. And then later on, a Jedi just came and gave another one to him. Although that would still happen, but I'll get to that. So the movie would continue, and we would eventually get to the Geonosis arena scene. And of course, all the stuff would happen like it did before, only when the Jedi finally attacked. Instead of Obi-Wan getting the blue lightsaber and Anakin getting the green lightsaber, they'd both get blue lightsabers. I feel as though this would kind of be a nod to the future of the two characters, because in the third film, Anakin and Obi-Wan would both have their blue lightsabers. So it'd be a small but interesting nod to the future. So the movie would continue from there, and they would chase Count Dooku to the Geonosian hangar. And the same thing would happen, Anakin would try to attack Count Dooku first, he'd get knocked back, and Obi-Wan would then start to fight Dooku. Now this fight would be different from the one in the film, for when Obi-Wan and Count Dooku start to fight, Obi-Wan's lightsaber actually gets destroyed, and so he's without a lightsaber. And so Dooku's standing there and he's pretty much like, hey Obi-Wan, I'm gonna give you one more chance to join me, if not, I'm gonna kill you right now. But then that's when Obi-Wan notices something. On Count Dooku's belt is Qui-Gon's lightsaber. And so in a split second, Obi-Wan uses the Force to pull Qui-Gon's lightsaber to his own hand. He then ignites the green blade, signifying that Qui-Gon is on his side. And then that's when Count Dooku realizes that there's no getting through to Obi-Wan, and so he must die. So then the same thing would pretty much happen that it did in the movie, where Obi-Wan would get hit in the arm and the leg and then fall over. And then before Count Dooku was going to destroy him, Anakin would stop him. Only this time, Anakin would have a blue lightsaber. And when Anakin and Count Dooku would start to fight, Obi-Wan would throw Qui-Gon's lightsaber to Anakin. So we'd still get that cool two-handed blue and green lightsaber fight that's one of the highlights of Attack the Clones. But then, mid-fight, Qui-Gon's lightsaber would be destroyed, and then the movie would continue on the same. So Anakin would still get his arm cut off, and Yoda would still come and save the day. But in the end, when everyone comes to help them, Obi-Wan leans down and grabs that broken Qui-Gon lightsaber, reaching into the hilt and pulling the green lightsaber crystal out of there. And this would later explain why Luke didn't just use Qui-Gon's lightsaber, for it had been destroyed and the crystal was removed. And so, he had to make his own. Then I guess he would place the crystal in his pocket or something and say he's never going to use it again due to the fact that it's Qui-Gon's memory and he doesn't want to lose this important thing that reminds him of his master. So then Attack of the Clones would come to its finale, and eventually the third film would start up, and then that's when we see Obi-Wan and Anakin have forged their new iconic lightsabers that follow them throughout the next trilogy. And so the green lightsaber crystal would pretty much not be mentioned until the 6th film, when we see the deleted scene of Luke actually making his own lightsaber in Obi-Wan's hut. And he uses a green lightsaber crystal that just happens to be among Obi-Wan's possessions. And thus, that is just a small improvement that I think would make a big difference throughout the entire franchise. But of course, that's just my opinion. What is your opinion on this? Do you think that would be a really cool change? What other improvements would you guys make? Let me know in the comments below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Star Wars content. And until next time guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.